Carburetor throttle linkage. I've figured out how to get this into the car, and there's not a lot of space in there, so I'm not sure I'm going to be able to film that installation. Camera plus 2 sets of hands, etc., or 1 set of hands. So I'll try and explain it on the bench. Okay, this is the bracket that goes to the bulkhead. It's below the windscreen wiper. This is the linkage that goes up to the throttle linkage going across the car on the bulkhead. This is the actual position it should be in terms of orientation. So the bend in goes towards the throttle linkage attached to the bulkhead. I found that this is the right arrangement for this bushing. So these 2 parts slide apart, and then this fits into a female, if you will, in the throttle body, and I'll show that in a second. This shaft fits on the end of a spigot, also in the throttle body. It's actually part of the same arrangement, so it's a bolt insert that has a female for that hole and then a male for that shaft. So this assembly goes in first, and then this assembly follows. Likewise, this has also got a spigot at the end, like a ball joint here. That goes into the end of the throttle body. That goes in the very last. And the only way I figured out how to actually get this in is to... okay, so there's a claw here. I should mention that first. That claw fits into that that spigot. I'll call it a spigot. Right. The only way I can see how to assemble that is that this is actually taken out until the shafts are in place, and then installed once the shafts are in place. So it's all possible to put in with the engine in, and we're going to have an attempt at that right now. Right, so we're going to take a quick look at what's on the throttle body and how that works. Okay, that's the end of the throttle body, which takes this particular unit. This obviously screws in, and then once it's in place and you have the right level of clearance that you are looking for and movement in the linkage, then you hold that position, and then you tab that down. On the other side, there is a hole right there, and that takes at the ball joint end of the shaft that goes across the car to the bulkhead, and you can actually get all of that in as one assembly. So I'm going to I might try and film that aspect. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that from a camera position, but we'll give that a go. And then on the other side of that, you can see that ball arrangement there. So that is the male receptor for the shaft that was on the right hand side on the bench. Little, as always, a little tricky, but I found a way of doing it, and I've practiced a couple of times, so we'll see how we get on. throttle linkage is installed and moving quite nicely. This is the connection up to the carburetors. We'll go over that in a second. And then there's that joint. And then I realized halfway through that that's actually got a shoulder on it. So you didn't have to take the bolt out, you just have to have it loosened. And then that's got like a guideway in. So there's two flats on either side of that, not around. Anyway, I managed to get that in and bolt it up. But there's obviously an easier way of doing it. On the top, this is what that looks like. This is the linkage to the throttle. This is the linkage down to the throttle assembly. I'm going to push on the carbs now, on the throttle linkage on the carbs. You can see everything is actually, let me do it from here. Everything is moving. So I have to fettle all of this in terms of response, etc. But right now I'm quite happy with that. Right, so I need a little clip for that. Anybody knows where you can get those from, I would really appreciate it. Haven't been able to find those yet. Anyway, a little delicate, but it's in now, and I have a throttle, so pretty happy.